lura għat-tieni parti tal-programm tagħna, Programm 2030, grazzi tal-li segwejtu anki dawk il-pakkett ta' riklami. Ir-rokna ta' Mr. Norman is ovvjament saret daqsxejn popolari mhux ħażin magħkom it-telespettaturi. Mr. Norman, kif aħna? Tajjeb wis, u magħna llum għandna lil Paulo. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You were telling me that you're half Maltese, right?
I am half Maltese
And half
half
different countries.
British, yeah. But mainly Liverpool.
Liverpool, that's
Yes,
nice.
yes.
That's nice. Mela, Mr. Norman, illum fil-rokna tiegħek ħana bona wkoll kompetizzjoni.
Ekku,
Is-soltu ma tantx ikonna l-kompetizzjoni f'din ir-rokna, però llum ovvjament ħanagħmlu daqsxejn ta' bidla.
ekku.
Mela, però din il-kompetizzjoni ħatkun lejn l-aħħar parti tal-paġna tiegħek tajjeb,
Ekku.
ovvjament ħajkunu xi xorta jistgħu jagħżu l-envelop l-isfar jew l-envelop il-vjola,
Sewa.
però inti ħatajdilhom meta ħajjifetħu l-linji tat-telefons tagħna.
Iva,
U l-mistoqsija tiegħek tkun abbonata mar-rokna veru?
ekku.
Ġifieri llum iridu joqogħdu attenti id-doppju ta' kemm
Ħafna.
joqogħdu s-soltu.
Iva, ħafna, speċjalment illum sa nagħmel ħaġa partikolari ħafna, se jkolli qisu bħal intervista ma' Paolo dwar il-ħajja tiegħu. Paolo huwa persuna partikolari niskopru mbagħad anki wara l-kompetizzjoni fil-fatt xi ħaġa dwaru. Li se jiġri huwa li ma se nkun qed nitkellmu naqra u mbagħad se jagħmel poeżija. Minn tiegħu stess. U jiena ħana kumpanjaħ bil-mużika, dik hija il-link, dik hija l-konnessjoni li jiena dejjem infittex meta qiegħed fil-fatt nibni dawn is-slot. Ġifieri għandi mistednin minn kull qasam tal-ħajja mhux biss mużikali imma dejjem b'xi mod infittxu dik il-konnessjoni mal-mużika. U se jibqa' jiġri hekk, u mbagħad se nagħlqu il-parti tal-intervista Paolo, però mbagħad se jkun hemm poeżija oħra mhux ta' Paolo, importanti ħafna, mhux tiegħu.
Ma ta' xi ħadd ieħor.
Ta' xi ħadd ieħor u l-telespettaturi huma mistednin jaqtaw ta' mini din il-poeżija partikolari.
Għalhekk iridu joqogħdu attenti għax il-kompetizzjoni hija bbażata fuq din
Eżattament.
il-poeżija partikolari li ħatkun lejn l-aħħar.
Ekku,
Allura,
wara
ovvjament iridu jaraw
kollox.
il-paġna kollha.
Eżattament, iva, kollha, wara erba'. Ġifieri il-ħames waħda mhijiex se tkun ta' Paolo imma ta' u mbagħad jgħidulna huma.
Mr. Norman, Paulo, fidejkom.
Grazzi ħafna. Paolo, thank you and welcome. Welcome to the show. I just explained the competition that we'll be having. Yes.
Thank you.
Fantastic. What is tonight about? And for this, we have something that can be going on television. I will now translate into Maltese. Nilqaw lit-telespettaturi, għanna magħna lil Paolo, issa se nsaqsih iktar dwar minu u x'inhu u se jagħmel u kollox, all right? Imma l-importanti li il-lejla huwa dwar dawn il-partikolari kelmiet. Nitlob ir-reġija tibgħat dan is-slot żgħir ta' qara dwar journeys, dwar il-ħajja, ara ġejja, dwar life, iktar ġej, dwar l-imħabba, love, minna li għaddet ukoll, death dwar il-mewt, u mbagħad ukoll dwar it-tifsira partikolari tal-ħajja. Dawn huma dwar xiex ħankunu qegħdin nitkellmu fil-kuntest tal-ħajja flimkien ma' ħanintroduċi issa lil Paolo u ħanitolbu jsaqsina jgħidilna daqsxejn min hu l-konnessjoni tiegħu ma' Malta u da. Mela, Paolo, please tell us a bit about your connection with Malta, about yourself and our nice, beautiful island.
Well, I'm half English and half Maltese. I was born in England in May 1950. My mother's from Munster and my father's from Liverpool. He met my mother in 1937 when he was in the RAF over here in Halfar in Malta. And they got married in a year later, and I was born in 1950 in England, in Chester, and I've been coming back and forward on holiday to Malta, but I've lived in England most of my life, but I'm spending more time now in Malta because I love being in Malta. I really do. It's a great place to live. So I'm here at the moment and enjoying being here.
Thank you. So I translate for our televiewers. Tjedinna Paolo li huwa nofsu Ingliż u nofsu Malti minn Liverpool, però il-mama tiegħu ommu kienet mill-Mosta iltaqat ma' raġel. Meta kien fl-RAF fil-1937 l-1937 u mbagħad iż-żewġu u Paolo ġie diversi drabi, ħafna drabi fuq btala u Malta minn issa fil-fatt hija taw. Paolo, can you tell us something about your early life and creativity? A nice word, something I'm really attracted to, creativity.
Yes, certainly. I've always been interested in making things. Since I was very young, I used to make burglar alarms, radios, furniture, bringing people together. I had a little fair once, and I created all the different amusements in my garden and invited everybody from my class to come and attend. And we had about 30 children came along and had a great time. And nobody prompted me to do this. I used to make a little newspaper one time, endless amount of different projects, forever doing different sort of things in that area.
Wow, thank you. Qed jgħidilna hawnhekk li kien meta minn ta' età żgħira kien jagħmel ħafna affarijiet li joħloq sistemi ta' burglar alarms u affarijiet teknoloġiċi, affarijiet prattiċi, kienu wkoll jorganizzaw iġib it-tfal kollha flimkien kien jagħmel dat tip ta' affarijiet. Bniedem spontanju, bniedem illi kien jaqbad jinfinta l-affarijiet minn tiegħu. Paolo, at this stage I'd like to invite you to go for our first poem, okay? New Dawn, which translates into Maltese as Zerni Ġdid. And as I will promise the viewers, we'll be playing some music for you, and you can go in when you want. I'll just introduce it. Hawnhekk għandna, sinjuri, l-ewwel poeżija. Dina hija waħda minn ta' Paolo stess. Jien ħankun qed indoq mużika daqsxejn għall-akkumpanjament tiegħu. Poezija li jisimha bl-Ingliż New Dawn, se jaqraw jagħmilha bl-Ingliż, però bil-Malti sibtilkom daqsxejn ta' traduzzjoni jisimha Żerni Ġdid kieku. U wara tlaqna.
Dawn breaks and you crack open a new day. Are you going to run or are you going to stay? Unconscious living is easy, but there is no love in this home. A numb isolation, bleakness and desolation live here. Turn towards the inner light. Turn this very night. Bring yourself to feel this moment that is real, and know that know the love that ends not. Have the courage to stay when it's hot, even burns, and love shall be here as your everlasting friend.
Wow, Paolo, thank you.
Thank
you so much
Thank
for
you.
that. So, from the new dawn into the light. Paolo, your introduction to poetry and meditation and the Beatles and human interaction, much life, many people. I will give you the floor in a second. I'll just work it out for our televiewers here. Mela, għadni kemm ringrazzjajtu, hija xi ħaġa partikolari din il-poeżija li tiddiskrivi xi ħaġa bidu ġdid u bidu sabiħ u anke provajt mill-aħjar li min-naħa tiegħi u mill-ment inqabbel daqsxejn il-mużika u issa se ngħaddu għal fażi li jmiss u għadni kemm saqsejtu se jitkellem daqsxejn dwar l-introduzzjoni tiegħu għall poeżija u suġġetti oħrajn li anke jingħaqdu daqsxejn mal-Beatles hawnhekk. So, Paolo, the floor is yours. Poetry, your start, and the rest.
Well, poetry. I started writing poetry about 15 or 16 years old. My inspiration at the time was Bob Dylan. And the poetry I wrote was, I wouldn't call it deep. It was more rhythmical and amusing. And I wrote about anything I could see. The words would have to rhyme. That was the main thing. And I used to go to the YMCA in Birkenhead, where I lived with my mother, and I used to write the poems, and people would ask me, could you read us a poem? They used to call me the professor, because I used to have a chain with a watch on the end in inside my jacket, and I used to pull it out, and he kept asking me what time it was and could I read them a poem. and they were very amused by that sort of the way I was.
All right. Mela, beda jikteb il-poeziji ta' eta isu meta kellu 15-16 sena, kien spirat minn Bob Dylan u kien jikteb mhux bil-fors kitba profonda, kien iqabbel ħafna u sħabu kienu dejjem kienu jirreferu għalih bħala il-professur għax dejjem kien iġor dal-arloġġ u tidawru, insomma, u kull darba jdu isma' x'ħenu aqranna xi ħaġa, aqranna poeżija. Thank you for that. The connection with the Beatles, and we also spoke in preparation for our interview here, many people in your life, yes? A lot of human interaction. Sinjur, qed insaqsih dwar il-konnessjoni li għandu mal-Beatles u mal-fatt li għandu kellu fil-ħajja tiegħu konnessjoni ma' ħafna nies joqogħdu miegħu. So, yes, thank you.
Well, the meditation you mentioned, Mr. Norman, is I remember just being naturally interested in this whole idea of finding peace within ourselves. And the Beatles become very prominent in this sort of search for inner peace. In 1967, they met a teacher called the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, was originally from India, and he'd gone to America. Anyway, the Beatles got introduced to him through Pattie Boyd, who was George Harrison's wife. And they basically they started to meditate, and then I took it up myself when I saw an advert a few years later in 1971. A few years later, I took an interest. I saw a big poster, and I said, I'm interested. I really wish to learn this properly. So I then went to some classes, and I learned, and I started to practice. And I had then many people come to my home, and we had a very kind of open, friendly kind of connection with the community, particularly with young people. They used to come to my home, and we used to meditate together and have a lot of, you know, nice positive fun and enjoying each other's company as friends. But with the meditation being very central to that kind of like connection.
Okay, I translate. Pratikament il-Beatles iltaqgħu mal-meditazzjoni minħabba il-marata wieħed minnhom, konnessjoni ma' xi ħadd mill-Indja, bdew jagħmlu dan it-tiftix iktar qisu il-ġewwa milli l-barra u għaqdu komunità ta' nies li jagħmlu l-istess affarijiet flimkien u Paolo dejjem isib ruħu ma' imdawwel ħafna nies, ovvjament ħafna nies iġibu ħafna esperjenzi. Paolo, I invite you to perform the second poem for us tonight, and here comes the music for it. Il-poezija, sinjuri, jisimma To the Light bil-Malti lejn id-dawl. To the Light.
A shrunken person, closed and existing in night shadows. A sensitive soul, rendered helpless by the onslaught of common madness married to time. Can we lose the past? Can we jettison the painful period? Awaken, it's possible to dance again in wisdom and joy, to feel the freedom of knowing and being known. Look deep within for the treasures, let the seeds now be sown.
Ekku, lejn id-dawl, to the light. U ngħaddu issa għal qasam ieħor fl-istorja tal-iżvilupp ta' Paolo hawnhekk, il-qasam fejn ħajitkellem daqsxejn fuq ix-xogħlijiet illi kellu. Ħansaqsi hekk issejna. Paolo, tell us about your jobs life history. Not jobs by Apple, I mean, the actual jobs that you've held, yes?
Yes, well, first job I got was in a record shop, and that was in 1965 in May, and that was great because I love music, and people would come in and say, I want the Byrds, I want Bob Dylan, I want Beatles, and that job lasted for basically about a year, and then I became an apprentice TV repair technician, which went on from 1966 to 1971, 72. And then, what did I do then? Yeah, I worked as a technician until 78. I left the TV repair field and got a job in a higher education college in Liverpool, Notre Dame College, which is a Catholic college. I stayed there for a year, then got a job at university working in theatre for a year, and then got a job in a further education college for 17 years. And I used to look after TV studios, repair things, break things as well, and used to do interviews and make films and do promotional videos for the college, and then I retired.
Wow, that's a long list, huh?
Yes.
Ja, għat jgħidinna li kien l-ewwel job tiegħu kien f'record shop, kien ħobb il-mużika, kien tajjeb, u mbagħad kien tajjeb għalih għamel sena, u mbagħad kellu diversi xogħlijiet f'diversi aspetti, anke saħansitra ġo istituzzjonijiet edukattivi l-itwal waħda l-itwal job li kellu kien dam 17-il sena u mbagħad tirtira. I have a curiosity, Paolo. During your jobs segment, did you still write poetry? Għadni kemm saqsejtu kien xi jikteb il-poeżiji meta qed nitkellmu fuq dal-perjodu tal-ħajja hawnhekk.
Yeah, no, I didn't, but I did start up again, and there was like a big gap between 66, and I started up again in, it was 1979.
And you started up because?
Because my marriage broke down with my wife. You know, it was decided it was not to continue, and we had a break, and I was very, I don't know, unhappy, I guess, yeah. So I ended up writing poetry about how I felt, about my emotions, and the way one might feel, you know, when losing something.
In this spirit, I would invite you to perform our third poem and just introduce it to the audience. Okay, mela, it-tielet poezija issa jisimha Strange Life, ħajja stramba. Qed nitkellmu fuq il-fatt li kikteb il-poeżija Paolo meta spiċċa il-relazzjoni li kellu mal-mara ma baqgħetx. So here goes.
I find it hard and strange, me being alive. Wonder what I'm doing and for what I have to strive. There is an aloneness that nothing can ease. There is a freedom from which there is little need to please. To know and to be allows you to see parts of the puzzle called me and you too.
Wow.
Paolo, għallu li issa wasal il-ħin biex niftu kompetizzjoni. Ovvjament, il-ħin ta' rukna tar.
As usual, time flies on TV. We're going to just move into the rest of the competition. So I'll close the section, Paolo.
Right.
Thank you so much. Grazzi lil Paolo hawnhekk, sinjuri. Dawn huma l-poeżiji ta' Paolo. All right, ta' Paolo fil-fatt għandu ktib. Okay, yes, you can show that.
Which?
Dan huwa ktib li għandu xi poeżiji. Paolo dak kienu poeżiji tiegħu. Issa però u hawnhi Marija l-kompetizzjoni. Issa però ser niftu se nagħmlu poeżiji oħra, okay? Poeżija li mhijiex ta' Paolo. This is the poem that is not your own. All right? Din mhijiex ta' Paolo. U xogħolkom, sinjuri, huma li tqogħdu attenti tippruvaw taqtaw ta' min tista' tkun din il-poeżija.
Ovvjament jiena xogħli hawnhekk huwa li ngħinhom daqsxejn.
Fidejk.
Allura ovvjament jiena ħanajdilkom li jekk mhijiex ta' Paolo mhix tiegħi lanqas. Tistgħu tisabonu intom issa ta' minni. Mela.
Però mużika m'hawnx, ħanejnhom ftit iktarina. Mużika m'hawnx. Paolo, the floor is yours.
Okay. We have a lovely poem here. It's called Transitions of Love. The first time I saw the light of day, I felt I was part of a tree. How wonderful. What a manifestation of love. Life is very surprising and loving. One fine day at the end of May, a lovely lady from lands far away gently chose me and picked me up. My purpose now seems to have expanded. Soon enough, I find myself in the delicate hands of a seeker on the road to becoming a finder, to share with that person the love that I am.
Thank you, Paolo. Għat jgħidu li fil-fat li għanna telefonata mill-ewwel.
Yes, tajjeb.
Hello.
Nibdu gost.
Hello. Min għanna fuq il-linja?
Mario Dimekka unek, signorina.
Hello, Mario. Kif inti? Ma jafux għal-fejet nitħa, Mario, għed mill-ikbar biftijaj, ovvjament. U deċida li ċemplinna l-kompetizjoni. Kif inti, Mario?
Tajjeb, għawnek għedin narawk, għawnek.
Grazzi.
Selli għalikom.
Grazzi li l-ek,
Grazzi ħafna. Ovvjament,
Grazzi.
Norman, ovvjament, għadni kif spiegajt, Mario għed mill-ikbar biftijaj u naf li l-lum għedin grupp taħbib li innaqdu ovvjament biex jaraw 2030.
Alright.
Eżat,
Għabba
eżat.
tajjeb,
Eżat. Mario, ovvjament la ċempiltirnati t-parteċa fil-kompetizjoni. Mario, da kem?
Għawnek għedin nisimawk.
Tażel.
Għadda kif smajna l-poezija, u inti zgur li kont attent biex tismaħħad il-poezija, veru? Mela, jekk miex ta' Paolo l-poezija u miex tijaj, ta' min taħseb li? Mela minn nies li qegħdin hawnhekk miex tijaj, miex ta' Paolo, ta' Sinjur li oġbu jena għatmana l-lum allura jieqpa persuna oħra.
Isa.
Isa Mario.
Naħseb għandu. Isa?
Mr. Nu. Mr. Nu.
Mr. Norman.
Hemm konferenza ġejja, proset.
Proset. Jien naħseb li kabed jgħid palista nofli, naf xallu bin-no, Mr. Mela, l-envelope il-viola jew l-envelope l-isfar.
Il-viola.
Fil-kontra.
L-isfar mela tal-Brazil aħjaru.
Alright.
Mela, il-viola, mela.
Viola.
Naslu l-viola, mela, Mario. Dan naħseb mhux għalik, imma ovvjament il-mara ħatu pjaċir bieħdan. Għandek 10% skont minn għand il-ħot kukun u għandek fil-fatt voucher, mela, voucher minn għand ħamrun kiosk, mela, wine and pizza għal żewġ persuni, Mario. Issa ħolli li miegħek importanti.
Dik dejjem.
Mario, grazzi li għall-oħrajn, il-lejli tajjeb.
Marija, grazzi li kull sponsor tagħkom.
Nirringrazzjak. Mela, Mr. Norman, Paolo, jiena ovvjament kif għadna l-ħin għadda.
Il-poezija kienet sorpriża u l-aħħar ħaġa li fadlilna is-sorpriża ta' dejjem dik li wieħed. Mr. Norman, u llum hija importanti wieħed tal-ġimgħa l-oħra għat li telespettaturi tagħna li se jkollna sorpriża partikolari u hawn ġejja. Paolo, I see the yellow badge. Beatles, yeah? Okay, this is combined with the surprise that we have for our
Where are we
televiewers.
going? Are we going on this camera?
There it is. There
There
it
we
is.
go.
Can you tell us why it's important to you?
Yes, I can. I am fortunate enough to be the cousin of Ringo Starr.
Wow.
So I support the Beatles and all the Beatles have done. I thought the music had really inspired a real generation. And of course, I'll say being related, it's,
Wow, thank you.
I really
Thank you so much. Signori, għandi l-onur illi l-lum jena kelli mistieden fil-program tijaj l-kuġin ta' Ringo Starr tal-Beatles. Grazzi ħafna u dejjem għatu kas is-sorprizi li minat Mr. Norman. Taqsek kollox Marija.
Grazzi Paolo, grazzi Mr. Norman,
Grazie
ovvjament.
very much, Maria.
He knows a few words in Maltese, yes.
Ftate.
Nerġaw niltaqgħu ma' miegħek Mr. Norman Xejk pallum ġimgħa b'guest, ovvjament.
Mistieden ieħor
ġdida.
u sorpriż oħra wkoll probably.
Bla dubju. Ħammorru għal moment ta' pubbliċità x'inniġu lura intervista ma' Donna Busuttil.